So I want you to be really honest with yourself while listening to this episode. Is it really a fear of failure, or is it the fear of not measuring up to the capabilities that you know are inside of you? You're listening to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, a business and mindset coach who specializes in imposter syndrome. If you feel like you're not as smart, capable, or worthy as you actually are, and that someone is going to find you out, then you've come to the right place. I went from being a struggling government worker, working my coaching business on the side, but feeling unworthy and burnt out, to making multiple six figures helping women overcome imposter syndrome so they too can sign clients, make bank, and have the business or career of their dreams. I am nothing special. I have a stuttering disability, ADHD, and I struggle with anxiety and depression. So if I can learn how to feel good enough and overcome my inner imposter, then so can you. Let's dig in. Hello everybody. Welcome back to the From Imposter to Empowered podcast. I'm your host, Jill Perrick, business and mindset coach and imposter syndrome expert. And I'm so happy to have you here. And today we're going to talk about the fear of actually succeeding and what you think you can handle. And this episode comes off of a coaching question that I got in the From Imposter to Empowered program. And if you heard me talk about this program before and you're like, I need to be in this, then yes, you do. It is my signature program. It's specifically for coaches and online service providers who have imposter syndrome, who have sporadic income, have trouble being consistent with showing up, who don't feel confident in selling their offers, who feel like a fraud. You have imposter syndrome around like yourself and being able to deliver results. You have imposter syndrome around selling and around really seeing yourself as a CEO. If that is you, this is absolutely the program for you. And inside of this program, you're going to learn how to overcome imposter syndrome so you can show up and sell your offers with confidence. You're going to learn how to show up consistently on social media for your business without feeling overwhelmed, without burning out, without giving up. You're actually going to be consistent. You're going to show up every day, and it's not going to feel hard or difficult. It's not going to be something that you have to do and sacrifice every other thing in your life to show up. Nope, we do it simple, we do it easy, and we do it in a way that has your most confident self at the forefront. And the ultimate goal of being in this program is that you're getting yourself to those bare minimum 5K months in business. And truly, 5K a month is just the beginning when it comes to growing your monthly income. And for so many entrepreneurs, though, 5K is like a pipe dream. It's something that they feel they'll never be able to reach. And I'm saying, no, it's actually your bare minimum, and it only gets better and better and better. You are going to start from that place in the From Imposter to Empowered program. And one of the biggest reasons why you should come and work with me is because I combine the mindset, the energetics, and the strategy all together, because I believe that they all work together in order for you to have a really successful and profitable business. If you don't believe in yourself, if you don't think things are possible for you, if you don't regulate your nervous system and learn how to manage your emotions as an entrepreneur, if you don't implement the necessary and simple strategy to grow your business, you're not going to be successful. You're not going to see the success that you want to see. And that is the goal inside of the From Imposter to Empowered program. With the curriculum and the courses on content, sales, and launching that you get immediate access to as soon as you join, as well with the hot seat coaching calls that we have every single month, and the Slack community where I'm in there coaching you and providing support to you between Tuesday and Thursday every single week. This is not a container where you join and there are like 15 coaches and you never actually get to talk to the person you thought you were signing up for. When you sign up for the From Imposter to Empowered program, or even the Real Deal Mastermind, you're signing up to work with me, and I'm going all in with you on your business, no matter which container you join. So if you're interested in continuing to work with me, you're going to want to go to the link in my show notes, and from there you can decide which container is for you, the From Imposter to Empowered program that I just told you about, or if you're looking to transition from 4-figure months to 5-figure months, you and your business are ready for that, and you are ready to expand your offer suite, then you're going to want to be inside of the Real Deal Mastermind. That's going to be a way better fit for you. So again, go to the link in my show notes. You can figure out which container you want to be in, and you can send me a DM at your Coach Jill if you have any questions or concerns at all. Let's get into the episode for today. You might think that you have a fear of failure and that this accompanies the imposter syndrome that you feel. You feel like you're not going to be good enough. You think things are not going to work out, but you would be so surprised to find out that the fear of success is actually a more palpable fear for my clients and the majority of people when they end up coming to work with me. We uncover beliefs, thought patterns, and behaviors that are driving their actions and often their lack of action as well. I actually had a client in the From Imposter to Empowered program, and she was asking me a question around capacity, like being able to do all the things. And the reason why she asked this question was because she had this realization that when she goes all in, if she were to create this group offer that she had on her heart for so long, if she were to do the things that she knew would blow her up, things would start happening and happen so much faster than they are. And her question was around, how am I going to be able to handle it all? Right? So I first want to talk about the fact that this is a clear fear of success. It is a clear fear of, but what if it all works out? And you might be thinking to yourself, of course I want it to work out, Jill. Of course I want things to work out. Of course I want everything to be exactly how I'm journaling it in my manifestation journal. Like, that's exactly what I want. But the thing is, your nervous system isn't always equipped to handle it. Your subconscious is going to then look into the future and think, can we really handle that? And can we live up to that? It's just another version of not feeling good enough, because you're thinking in your head, I am going to be doing all these things. I'm going to be taking action. I'm going to be putting things into place to have everything that I want. But am I worthy of it? Is it actually going to work out the way that I want it to work out? And then who do I have to be and how much work am I going to have to put into it? How am I going to exist as that new version of me? What am I going to have to leave behind? Again, this is just another version of I'm not good enough. Because when you have those feelings of I'm not good enough, it can swing one of two ways. The first way is I'm not going to be able to measure up, I'm not good enough, and it's going to be crappy when things don't work out the way that I want them to, and I'm going to feel bad about myself when things don't work out the way that I want them to. But then we have the other side, and that is, but what if it all works out? Will I be able to measure up? And then it's going to be a long way down. If I do end up growing the business, working with clients, and putting offers out, am I going to be able to be good enough once that happens? Is the work that I'm doing going to be good enough? Right? It's essentially the same feeling, but what you don't realize is that this can really subconsciously block you from doing the big actions, from taking risks, from stepping into that next version of yourself. It can look like a lot of self-sabotaging tendencies and relying on old patterns because you are satisfying the part of you that's like, no, we want to stay here. We want to stay in the comfort zone. We want to stay in this place where things feel like we can handle them. It's like this sick part of you, that sick self-sabotaging part of you is keeping you safe and not allowing you to go bigger. Because your subconscious is really smart. It can come up with all of these reasons as to why you need to hold back and stay small. So for this particular client who was asking the question, she was thinking about it in terms of capacity. She was thinking, am I going to be able to handle it when things do start to blow up? And let me tell you, when I first started my business, it was in 2018. And that's when I actually started it, but I didn't start being consistent online, like on social media. I just opened a website and was like, where are the clients? Which is just so funny. But I got on social media in 2018, but really didn't start investing in myself and showing up consistently and all those things till 2019. And then in 2020, I really started being consistent as fuck. I was showing up every day, working full time, doing all the life things. I had a social life. I have been with my husband since we were 15 years old. We were living together. We had a dog and a cat together. There were a lot of things going on. And I was working full time for the government. And I took extra shifts all the time. I loved making that overtime money. And then on the side, I was running the business. And in 2020, at the beginning of the year, I got certified in neuro-linguistic programming and all those things. That's when I really started to take my business and myself as a coach seriously. And I blew up. And I say that in quotations if you can hear it, because I blew up. But realistically, it was just the compound effect of me showing up since 2019, of me consistently showing up to sell my offers, of me standing in my power. All the things, right? So I was doing all that and I started to get clients. I had to send out contracts. I was doing everything myself for the most part. And I was working full time. I was running the business full time. I started to see clients. I had group programs that I was running. I did master classes. I went full fucking throttle and it was a lot. But the thing about capacity is that you don't realize that you have more of it than you think. The thing about your nervous system is that it's very, very malleable. And the same thing applies to your subconscious mind. You can stretch your nervous system capacity and you can stretch your capacity in general and your emotional resilience, right? That is just something you will build upon. People think, oh, this is just what I can handle. But realistically, you don't know what you're capable of until you're up against an edge. And that's what I also communicated to my client. The fact that she's not going to realize what she's actually capable of until she does it. And the fact that she has this urge to do this group, to do all of these things inside of her business, she knows that if she were really to tap into that, she would be so fucking successful and things would blow up and she would start to make a lot of money. That is the pull. That is the urge that you need to lean into. Of course, there are going to be things that you're going to put in place as time goes on, right? The more moolah you make, all the things that start to come up, you add a virtual assistant, you add systems, you add workflows. But as somebody who has a multiple six-figure business, I only have a virtual assistant, and that's it. I do a lot of things on my own. There are definitely things in the future that I'm going to do that I'm going to be like, yep, I'm going to need this kind of person and this kind of person. But I'm saying you can run a very successful business with just a VA that knows how to do things, right? So this shouldn't be a reason why you can't stretch your capacity, because there's always going to be something. There's always going to be, oh, I have to do this sales page, or I have to do this. I don't have the right systems. I don't have this. I don't have that. And it's like, when are you just going to accept that running a business is largely trial and error? It is largely you just fucking figuring it out. And that includes systems, your energy, your capacity, etc. And you wouldn't be called to this work, you wouldn't have been called to start a business if you didn't think that you could do it. If there was not some part of you deep down that had the skills and the capacity. That doesn't mean that you're not going to see resistance. You absolutely will. That doesn't mean that it's not going to feel hard at times. It absolutely will. But being a CEO, being an owner of an online business, it's a part of your identity. Like it's a part of who you are, and this is just a part of the game. And I know that there are a lot of people who come into the space and they're just kind of like, I don't want to work at all, right? But like, you're not one of those people. You know that yes, it's going to take up some of your capacity. It's going to challenge you in so many ways. But your nervous system and your subconscious are things that can be moved, they can be changed, they can be adapted. And that is just what's going to happen if you stay focused on the end goal of, I want to work with clients, I want to make money, I want to become the best version of myself. And the fear of failure is just as real as the fear of success, even more so. Like I said, I talk to clients more about the fear of success, about what's going to happen to their relationships, what's going to happen to their life, what's going to happen to their schedule, what's going to happen to their routine, their capacity. And here's the thing, I can handle about 100 times more in the business than I could handle even a year ago. You are supposed to grow. You are supposed to change. You are supposed to stretch your capacity. You are supposed to stretch your comfort zone. Something that felt so hard 3 years ago will feel like a fucking cakewalk today. So I want you to be really honest with yourself while listening to this episode. Is it really a fear of failure, or is it the fear of not measuring up to the capabilities that you know are inside of you? What kind of imposter syndrome is coming up for you? I can guarantee it's probably the fear of not being able to handle the success that you know is inevitably on its way. And your subconscious wants to pull you back into the comfort zone. It wants to pull you back into old habits and patterns and behaviors so you can continue to feel safe instead of feeling like, woo, I feel stretchy, I feel resistance, right? But like, if I don't feel uncomfortable on a weekly basis when it comes to the business, I'm doing something wrong. And that does not mean that I don't rest. This does not mean that I don't feel good. I feel good the majority of the time, but I can also tell the difference between resistance and something that is clearly not aligned. I was talking about this in my Consistent Bitch Masterclass, and how knowing the difference between you just hitting up against resistance and misalignment will be a key factor in your consistency and subsequently your success. So yeah, I know how to determine when something is out of alignment or when something is just creating resistance because of my patterns or because of a belief that I have about my potential or success. It's like how this one time a client of mine didn't open messages about her program when she got an influx of them. A part of her was like, holy shit, it's happening. I'm getting so much interest, and it activated her nervous system. And she subsequently didn't open the messages until much later, right? Like she was afraid of the success and it actually held her back. You are more likely to be afraid of success than failure. And once you become aware of that thought process in your mind, you can start catching it and actively moving towards everything you fucking say that you want. Because that's the thing, right? Everyone says that they want a big business, clients, money, 4 and 5 figure clients and payments. But then their actions prove otherwise. The way they move proves otherwise. And being a bad bitch that makes money and runs a successful business, she is actively clocking those patterns, addressing them, and moving forward with the belief that she does measure up, that she is going to be able to handle everything that comes her way, and that she is going to adapt to everything and anything that occurs, because that's just who she is. And that's who you are, my love. I know it, or you wouldn't have listened to this episode. I love you, and when you're ready to step into that next version of yourself, when you're ready to take massive action and make big fucking money in your business, come work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. The links are in my show notes, and you can send me a DM at Your Coach Jill if you're unsure about which container is the best one for you, and we'll chat. And I cannot wait to talk to you. Okay? I love you guys so much. I'll see you next week, babes. Hey babe, thank you so much for listening to this episode. Screenshot it and put it on your stories and tag me at Your Coach Jill. And if you really love me, you'll rate and review the podcast. And if you screenshot it before you submit the review and send it to me, I will send you a free gift on me. If you want to take this work deeper, come and work with me in the From Imposter to Empowered program or the Real Deal Mastermind. And finally, if you want just a snippet of my work to feel what it's like to be in my world, then you need to buy my best-selling book, You're Not Special, and you can get that on Amazon. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you next week.